Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Jesse Cohen, Senior Financial Analyst at Investing.com. We got a very special guest today, Greg Rubin from Axi over in Australia, one of the leading brokers, making a lot of waves in the industry lately, gaining traction. I know everybody's looking for that edge in the market, how to maximize your opportunities in the stock market. And Greg Rubin is the guy we have to kind of tell us a bit more on Axi Select, what they do, and how they can help us at the end of the day, make money in the market, maximize our gains, and seek those opportunities. So Greg, nice to have you here. Very nice to meet you or virtually meet you. What is Axi Select, first and foremost?
Thank you, Jesse. Firstly, great to be here and nice to meet you and to talk Axi Select with you. So what is Axi Select in its purest form? It's a capital allocation program. Or a prop firm, as they sort of more commonly refer to these days. And when I describe Axi Select, I always go with a unique, all-inclusive capital allocation program. And the reason I say unique is we've created a model that we believe is revolutionary in changing the prop firm space and the broker space. It's a model that is different to anything else that's out there. And then we also pride ourselves on the all-inclusive side. Yes, we give generous funding, up to $1 million at the top end, keep 90% of the profits. But we also provide all the tools that traders need to succeed. So things like a dashboard, a leaderboard, we have a trading room, we've created an edge score. So the all-inclusive part is very important to our offering and what definitely makes us unique.
Yeah. So basically, can you expand on any more services and features that help you stand out from other competitors?
Sure. So if you look at the industry standard, it would be to charge a registration fee to pass an evaluation. With Axi Select, we do not charge any fees. It is 100% free for traders to join the Axi Select program. What we do require, however, is for traders to deposit their own funds into their own Axi Select account. Now, these are the traders' funds. They can withdraw them at any point in time, and we ultimately put our funds into an account that trades alongside this account with the traders' funds in it. But ultimately, we do not charge any fees to the trader to do this. And there's also subsequently no evaluations.
I'm curious, what made you guys go in this direction before, to even offer that type of service?
When we set up, we wanted to utilize our size as a broker to provide an offering that's fairer, more transparent, or give traders a more, in our opinion, a realistic opportunity to make profit and to forge professional careers. So we believe our model is a lot more trader-centric as opposed to more sort of speculative. And we're very proud of the model we've created that actually gives traders a fair and realistic opportunity, in our opinion. So that is the one thing that is certainly differentiates us. Another thing, which is part of sort of answering your question, is the fact we only use real life accounts. So we do not use any demo account, which is what the industry standard is to use. We give traders the option, like our clients of the Axi broker, to choose between the pro account or the standard account, and they have the exact same internal controls as our regular traders at brokers have. So that's another thing that's significantly different. We're also very aware that trading is difficult, right? We don't pretend it's easy. We don't say, get X amount, get $200,000 after a few weeks and promote how easy it's going to be and dangle that carrot on making money. I'll tell you, and I tell everyone, trading is very, very, very difficult. There are very few people who can make it. But what we can do, for one, is assist you on that journey. And that's what we try to do. So I know every trader is going to have a bad period, a bad week, a bad month. So what we do, instead of sending you hard breach emails and collecting registration fees, we give traders 3 attempts at the program. We have something called quarantine, where traders can go back. They spend 2 weeks without our funds and they get our funds again. They do return to lower levels without going into the actual fine detail. We give traders 3 attempts at the program. We also aware that for traders to succeed, it's all very well me saying to you, here's $1 million. But if I make your trading conditions very difficult, well, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to make money on that. So one of the things we pride ourselves on, again, is our unrestricted trading conditions. the only restrictions we have ultimately is the 10% losses per stage, and the not allowing to copy trade other traders. So we allow EAs. We have no restrictions around trading around news events, no restrictions on high watermark levels, holding on weekends. We try and ultimately give traders the platform to express themselves. And also, I guess when you look at the tools, which we discussed in the first step, it's that all-inclusive part. We are not just a funding program. We have the dashboard, the leaderboard, the edge score, direct access to a trading room to connect with professional traders and speak to them, one-on-one. I mean, as a trader how important that is to actually have that community and that ability. So those are certain points where we stand out and are different to the market.
Yeah, definitely. I've run into a lot of these services, on Twitter, online, other places, stock market forums and whatnot. And over there, you could really sense that they're trying to pull or push a product on you, kind of sell you guaranteed gains. And we all know that that's not true. Anybody who is promising you those unlimited gains in the market and 100% win rate, we all know that they're kind of not stretching the truth a bit. So, when I first heard about you guys, that I was very, very impressed. First of all, by all the tools offered to both, new investors and seasoned professionals as well. There's something in there for everyone. And really, my next question would be, how would you even attract clients to this type of service, getting the word out and so forth?
So I think the one thing that we are certainly, I won't say plagued from at the moment, but getting pressed from the moment is what's going on in the industry. Another major firm shut down on Friday. There's sort of been a lot of lack of trust within the prop firm space at the moment. And, again, to differentiate ourselves, as we are not a prop firm, we are not set up a fly by night. We're a company that's been in existence for over 16 years. And Axi Select is very much a transition from a broker's into that sort of, we're entering that realm, and how we can utilize, as I said from the beginning, our size and our structure to differentiate. So for us to attract clients, it's actually very easy in the sense because we don't charge a fee and we're not looking to claim registration fees. Axi Select is free to join. So I say to you, if you're a trader and you're already trading at another broker, what makes you choose a broker? Maybe it's execution, maybe it's trust, maybe it's pricing, but ultimately that's as far, and again, all very important, but that's also the main elements people look at. So we're saying to traders and other brokers to say, well, join Axi Select, and do exactly what you're doing. Trade your $1,000, $5,000, $20,000, whatever it may be. $500 is the minimum requirement. And we will immediately set up a fund with our funds in. So if you're making profit, you're basically getting an account with our funds in that's going to give you extra profit. So it's pretty attractive. It's pretty appealing offer. Now, of course, for new traders, they can lose their deposit. So there is certainly risk involved. But if you are a trader and you've already got your $500 or $1,000 at another broker, we're basically saying join, get access to our capital for free, get paid on the profits of that, and then get all the tools that we spoke about at the same time. So it is a very attractive offer for traders.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something like that. If you guys were around when I started trading, definitely be like nowadays there's so many different edges and opportunities for investors to kind of gain more knowledge on the market, where things are going. You spoke about trading surrounding news events. Any other what are the most popular trades or strategies, if you will, that you see with your clients on Axi?
Yeah, so I mean, what I've noticed is sort of the instruments that are traded. So metals are very popular. Gold is one of our most traded products. In terms of strategies, we're seeing a lot of use of EAs. Again, we're one of the few firms that allow traders to utilize EAs. The only thing we don't allow is copy trading. So using somebody else is automatically placing trades for you. But besides that part of it, we are seeing a lot of the use of EAs, and we are seeing metals being quite popular, very popular. Bitcoin's become quite popular recently with the recent gains. Yeah.
Like how large is the crypto offering that you guys allow? Like, what is it? Just the major coins?
So what we do is we have the trader has their own account, their Axi Select account, and that is ultimately their account with their funds to trade whatever they decide to trade. And every time they place a trade, it will affect their score. But there's certain instruments that they can trade in the Axi Select account, but we will not copy into the allocation account. So it won't count towards the profit from the progression of our funds, but will still count towards the trader's profit in their own account and their score. So in terms of cryptos that we will copy, it's Bitcoin and Ethereum. The trader has access to multiple other cryptos, but they won't be copied with our multiplier with our funds.
Fascinating. Do you have any plans in the future to expand that now that different cryptos are being approved with ETFs on Wall Street and so forth?
Yeah, look, we always looking to evolve our program. We sent out a survey a couple of weeks ago, and we take that very seriously in terms of products that we can do to improve, in terms of the program structure, in terms of offering. So at the moment, there hasn't seemed to be much of an appeal. We asked that question specifically in terms of new products. There hasn't been too many requests in terms of offering the other cryptos. But if there was a big demand for it, we would most certainly consider it or look at a way on how we can implement it. So we always open. We're very customer orientated. Ultimately, we providing a service and we want to attract customers. So we do listen to their feedback.
Yeah, I think like nowadays, 2024, people want a customer support, an actual person to get back to you, kind of have that relationship, that feedback. I'm wondering if off the top of your head you have any, like, what was the most obscure or most random request by a customer for an instrument to be added?
Yeah, so we do get a lot on the stock. So even with regards to the equities, we offer the 7 equities, predominantly the FANG stocks that we offer that we do copy into the allocation account. But I have had a request for some obscure stock that is based only out of the Middle East, and it takes a lot for me not to ever hear about a stock. It was so obscure, and I had to Google it to learn even about this stock. I didn't know what the question was about, the sort of stock, and I realized it was a stock. I don't have the name offhand, but it was very obscure, something I'd never heard of before.
With a global client base, that I was curious to, what is being traded locally in those markets, outside of the U.S., outside of the major markets in Europe. Very, very fascinating, very interesting.
As I sort of said before, like metals are very big. Crypto's become big. Bitcoin's becoming bigger. The indices are always there, and of course, ultimately we're an FX broker. Ultimately, the FX, we do see a lot of trades in the FX market naturally.
It is at the end of the day the biggest market in the world, the forex market. So makes sense on that. Do you have any success stories from any of your clients that they've shared with you? Has anyone ever reached that 1 million goal?
So we set up in September last year. We have 3 clients at the pro stage at the moment. So again, there are requirements in terms of days that it takes to reach this sort of stage, but we are seeing quite a few clients who are on the cusp of joining or getting close to joining the pro stage. So we've got 3 at the moment. Without giving the secrets away, in the sense, we are in the process of setting up and having interviews and posting interviews with some of these traders. So there will be testimonials, or there will be pieces coming out with regards to many of the traders on the Axi Select program. But yeah, look, we've been very lucky. It's resonated with the market. The growth in the program has been great, and to see the traders move up the program, it's been great. It really has.
Do you think that volatility in markets has contributed to the success of your service?
Yeah, I think. I mean, the markets of the last few months, I mean, obviously there are a lot of major headlines going on in the world and certainly driving these markets. We've seen a lot of, I call them impulsive moves, a lot of strong moves in either directions. And naturally traders prefer trading in volatile conditions, you know. So without doubt, the volatility is adding to the interest levels. It's adding to, the traders being able to, have bigger swings. Naturally, bigger volatility, because bigger volatility in the account. Unfortunately, it works in both directions. But yeah, when markets are busy, we do tend to see more volume, just naturally. And I don't see the volatility dying down anytime soon, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, that was, pretty much leading into my next question. Like, how much juice do you think is left, without revealing too much of your position, all that? How much juice is left in this AI inspired rally on Wall Street? Like, how much higher can Nvidia go?
It's a great question. Look, I'm not in the market for calling tops or calling bottoms, but from my analysis, my line of work, I've had this sort of move, this sort of 5.4 to 5.6 region in the S&P as a topping zone. Now, again, I'm not always right. I'm often wrong. But what I do is I apply it at wave theory. That's my speciality. Has the S&P struck the absolute top? I don't know. I don't. Probably not on a micro level, but I'm certainly not in the aggressive mindset at the moment. Can this go up to 6,000? Yes. Can it go higher? Sure. But if you ask me from a probability standpoint, or where we're at in the cycle, now is the time to be more on the cautious side, in my opinion.
There you have it, Greg Rubin with his thoughts on the market. Final question with let's go back to Axi Select. How are you guys utilizing and implementing any AI technology? Obviously AI, all the wave here in 2024. Every company's looking to kind of, add it to its services. Are you guys doing the same?
Yeah, so we definitely look at it from a content perspective, from a brand and marketing perspective. The different teams are certainly exploring different avenues on how to improve it. The one thing with AI is all very well and great, but ultimately, you still need, in my opinion, that human element, that human touch. Axi Select is a personal approach. We're not going to just spew out just generic answers, but at the same time, with the AI, it can certainly help us improve in terms of our statistics, in terms of feedback, in terms of our content. It certainly can improve in that sense. So we are looking at ways of various teams on how we can implement it naturally, but we don't want to lose that service, human touch as well. So it's a balancing act, in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Like nowadays, the shift towards AI is rapidly evolving, and we're at a point where in a few years' time we'll be talking to more and more robots on a daily basis than one would imagine.
But it's
So yeah,
quite interesting
definitely
from a
fascinating.
sorry to interrupt you. From a trading sense, I actually had an interview yesterday, and I got asked a similar question in that sense regarding what is it taking over the market, and I was quite adamant that there's still that human element to it, right? Somebody has to program these bots. Somebody has to
That's right.
program these black box systems. So yes, it helps you in the sense that it takes the emotion out of trading. It's helps you not making those errors, but there is still that human code that's created the analysis or created the buy and the sell signals, and it helps with execution, it helps without the emotions, but it's not invincible as people believe. And I send that with a warning out, just randomly buying. You see a lot of people promote the EAs now. Use my EA, this is what it does, that's how it makes. You're seeing a lot of that, but I always say be careful with that, because there's no such thing as a magic wand or bulletproof. And just because it's a black box system and now got AI technology, it doesn't mean it's invincible, which often it can catch people wrong-footed in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. Like we mentioned earlier, trading is difficult. If it were easy, we'd all be millionaires and raking up gains in the market and living on the beach in Thailand or whatever. But yeah, it is a very very fascinating time. Very fascinating time to be in the market. Not just globally in the world. There's different whether it be geopolitics, elevated inflation and the interest rate, where are rates going? So, obviously anytime or, you can find something to get you that little edge in the market it's definitely something where it welcomed. And so I like final question. I just want to get your thoughts. Will the Fed cut rates in 2024? Obviously everybody's talking about that. If it's not Jensen Huang, it's Jerome Powell. Which J is more important to the market? Is it Jensen or Jerome?
I've got to go with Jerome. That's being someone who's followed the Fed very closely for many, many years, from Bernanke to Yellen. Yeah. It's very interesting how they've all had their own intricacies. And one thing with Mr. Powell, I would say, is he very much prides himself on the transparency. But if you have him believe you right now, he's basically warning he's not going to cut rates this year. Look, it's a presidential election year as well, which also always throws another spanner in the works. But definitely. Look, like I said to you, with returns of the stock market being towards the end of the cycle, in my opinion, the hiking of rates are at the end of the line. I don't think there's much room to go further on a hike side. Will there be rate cuts? I mean, the market's starting to price some of it in. We've seen very weakness in the dollar. We've seen a lot of the commodity markets rally, stock markets towards highs. I mean, in fact, most markets are towards highs. Cryptos, metals,
gold, Bitcoin, the S&P, anywhere you look, all-time highs.
So to answer your question, I don't think the market's believing Mr. Powell when he's coming up with these hawkish comments. So will there be a rate cut this year? To answer you directly, I don't have an answer, but what I can say is there'll be a rate cut cycle before a much more prolonged rate hike cycle. Is there potential for one more rate hike? Well, inflation's not under control. Maybe there'll be one more scare, but I don't foresee it moving too much further to the upside before the rate cuts go in. Not to be a doom and gloom stayer, especially towards the end of this interview, but I do believe that we could see a big drop in the stock market, a 2008 style repeat, and perhaps the Fed will be cutting rates into that. So perhaps we'll be standing pat until we see a crisis hit, and that's when the Fed will be forced behind the curve to cut rates into it. So I hope that's not the case, but I certainly can't rule it out with the inverted yield curves that we've had and with the stock market towards the top end, in my opinion, and metals looking incredibly bullish. The tea leaves are there, unfortunately, for something quite scary.
Absolutely. It seems like we're in the same camp in regards to that. Obviously, markets have been irrational. Question is, how much longer can they be irrational for? With the way the markets are trading, seems like there's been a disconnect between what the Fed is saying and what markets are believing. So we'll see how that plays out in the second half of 2024. Thank you very much for your insight. Thank you very much for your time, taking out the time to be with us today. Axi Select, very fascinating service, very impressive. Wish you guys the best of luck. If you have anything else you'd like to chime in here, obviously, I think we went over most of what you guys offer, where we're headed in the markets, and let's get back to trading, back to our laptops, and try to maximize our gains in the market.
Thank you, Jesse. Great to speak to you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg. Have a good one. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.